Hey guys, how are we doing? So we're back with another video from Mother's Basement, and I'm looking forward to this just from the thumbnail. So this is 5 great anime you probably missed in 2018, and the current season I'm really not enjoying. Like, I've only got One Punch Man and Attack on Titan I'm watching, and I'm maybe every now and then watching an episode of that Demon Hunter one. Everything else I've like added to the queue. I've watched like 1 episode of things, and I'm like, don't really want to continue. From the thumbnail, if you haven't watched 2 of the things, the 5 that I'm thinking you're going to talk about, I'm really going to be on board with the 2. The other 3 I didn't really watch myself. Didn't at all even. So I feel like in this video I'm going to be really agreeing with 2, and then the other 3 is going to be like actually me taking recommendations for something to watch whilst there's nothing to watch this this anime season. But let's see what Mother's Basement has to say on this. So this is 5 great anime you probably missed in 2018.
As the current season of anime continues to whelm us with a slim selection of mostly good but not great new shows and a smattering of solid sequels, many of you, like me, may be left
because One Punch Man sequel, Attack on Titan's a sequel.
Sate the all-consuming void inside your souls,
Please.
lest the killing begin anew. There's a lot of promising stuff to look forward to in the summer, like
Dr. Stone,
It's Vikings, Detective Waver, Do You Even Live?
Lord Elmer, I want that.
Bill Nye,
Dr. Stone, there we go.
But that's still at least 2 months away,
Those
so
2
instead
gonna be
of
good.
just looking forward and waiting for new anime to come to us, now's an excellent time to look back and dig into some of the great shows that we might have missed out on amid the seasonal grind. Catching up on classic anime is a good way to spend this time, and I just put out a whole video detailing why I think you guys should all go back and watch Initial D, but there's also a ton of great anime that came out just last year and flew under the radar because well, all the other great anime coming out at the same time.
Yeah.
And before we move on to an absolutely stacked summer, I'd like to take this chance to talk about 5 of those underappreciated gems one more time before they fall into obscurity forever.
Okay.
To get this list up and running, we're going to start by half cheating. Run with the Wind started in 2018, but it finished in winter 2019.
Yeah, but it was so good. If you've not watched it, watch it.
My loose top 10 for the year. Honestly, the list was
so good.
Leaving it out just made things a lot easier. But the show is so good that I have no qualms about exploiting a technicality to include it on this list, and in all likelihood, my best of 2019 list as well. Run with the Wind.
The last episode, I cried my eyes out. My girlfriend had no idea what was going on, and she just gave me a hug. It's like, oh, it's okay.
College boys united by their desire to live in a dorm
so good.
Free, as they're roped into their classmate Haiji's ambitious dream to run in the prestigious Hakumen Marathon. Though the boys are almost all novices and none too keen about the prospect of spending every morning sweating and wheezing their way to the river and back, Haiji's contagious enthusiasm eventually brings them together as a team. And slowly, in some cases very slowly, but surely, they become determined to prove to the world and to themselves exactly what they're capable of.
Yep.
Though it's got its share of the intense and inspiring moments that you'd expect from a sports show, and the staff at Production IG animated them with the same aplomb that we saw in Haikyuu, Run with the Wind is driven forward more by great character interactions and dramatic storytelling than it is by raw hype. The cast of the show has a wide variety of extremely likable personalities that clash in the most entertaining of ways, and watching them all bounce off of each other is an absolute joy.
It's brilliant.
Each episode feels like you're sitting in on a party with a group of your best college buddies as they drunkenly bicker and occasionally say stuff like, "You could be a dick, man, but you know what? I fucking love you, man. You're a treasure." And because you come to love this group of dysfunctional idiots so much, when the dramatic, character-defining moments do come, they hit hard.
Yeah,
this
they do, man. There's so emotional stuff going on.
Off, cry your heart out, and cheer till your lungs are sore. Run with the Wind does everything it can to immerse you in its rowdy college atmosphere with detailed, lived-in environments and strong cinematography and editing that really puts you in the headspace of its characters.
I look forward to this every week because it's coming out.
With a strong heart, and if you give it a shot, I'm willing to bet that you will fall in love with it. What I'm saying is, watch Run with the Wind.
Watch it.
Cowards. Next up on the list is an anime that I wouldn't blame anyone for being wary of.
What's this?
Last Period is a mid-tier mobile game that follows a crew of career adventurers as they repeatedly beat up cutesy monsters for cash and loot. Its story is nothing to write home about, and its setting is a melange of generic fantasy tropes stapled together with little regard for aesthetic or thematic consistency. So you'd think that any anime based on it would be a little more than flavorless corporate slop. And I expect that most people pass this anime by without a second thought. But if you did, you missed out on a surprising surprisingly clever parody of mobile games and their terrible anime adaptations from Love Hina director and former Slayers episode director Yoshiaki Kawasaki. Like Slayers, Last Period is a zany, high-energy fantasy comedy that follows a party of fairly stupid heroes called Periods as they go on adventures and square off against the maybe slightly less stupid Team Rocket-esque villains of Wise Man.
Okay.
As an aside, have some of my favorite character designs in recent anime.
They are kind of cool.
I don't know, I'm a sucker for the whole Three Monkeys theme, and this is a really clever take on it. Plus, they're just fun characters. If you like fantasy anime or comedy in general and have been craving something new in the vein of Slayers or Mahoji and Guru Guru, you'll probably get a kick out of this bonkers parody. But the real meat of this anime lies in its biting satire of mobile game tropes and the cynical business mindset behind them. As a jab at lazy, obvious asset reuse, for example, every town that our heroes visit is run by a palette-swapped version of the same fat, balding mayor. Each of whom peppers their dialogue with different themed puns.
That's brilliant. So,
and,
like,
the success of our heroes in battle versus
reusing character designs.
Wise Man comes down entirely to the villain's absurd luck in calling 5-star characters, while our heroes only ever seem to roll ones. There's even an episode where one of the heroes pisses away his entire life savings on gacha pulls. It's dark, and honestly kinda disconcerting, since this is still one giant gacha commercial. That joke kinda feels like the people who design exploitative monetization systems are almost laughing at their own victims. But this is the only gacha anime I've seen that actually warns people not to sink all their money into microtransactions.
Yeah, don't spend everything.
So morally speaking,
don't
I don't really know what to make of it. But speaking critically, it is a pretty goddamn funny show regardless. Not every joke lands, and the number that land for you will depend almost entirely on how familiar you are with gacha games.
Right, so with mobile games and stuff,
fantasy anime,
I
as well as your
wouldn't get it.
For overt, self-indulgent fourth wall breaks, as delivering those is basically the sole job of the sociopathic deadpan lolly character Chaco.
Right.
But if its style of comedy gels with you, it will have you rolling. A lot of Last Period's best moments are off-the-wall surprises that I don't want to spoil, so it's best that I don't go on. I will say that my favorite episode was their riff on illogical, immersion-shattering collaboration events with popular anime, but I'll leave you to discover.
They do that, don't they? Like, I've seen adverts for it on
As a point of
Crunchyroll and
contrast,
stuff.
the next show on our list is an original anime, though it was adapted into a pretty good mobile game after the fact. Shoujo Kageki Review Starlight offers a fascinating hybrid of moe slice-of-life comedy and tightly polished anime action. It follows 9 girls in the 99th class of Seijo Music Academy, a prestigious performing arts school in Tokyo, as they compete in secret auditions overseen by a talking giraffe in a massive auditorium in order to be crowned the top star. What's really impressive about this anime is it manages to shine as an exemplar in both of its genres. Each of the girls in the main cast is positively adorable. They all have their own motivations and internal struggles that give them depth. Nobody feels like a flat side character, and each girl is given their own time in the spotlight.
That's good. I like shows like that. That gives everyone a little bit of
and
time
understand
to shine.
every last one of them, which is what separates great moe like K-On! And Hibike Euphonium from the rest of the pack. Each fight in the show is framed as a musical number, sung by the girls
I love stuff like that.
Blades, which may seem odd, but actually makes a lot of sense. Songs and musicals and fights in anime often serve similar purposes, externalizing the conflicts both between and within the characters in a manner that's engaging and accessible for the audience. The reviews and Review Starlight serve as vehicles for the characters to resolve their issues with each other and themselves, and they look and sound great as they do it. Props and stage elements fly around as the girls battle, literalizing their perception of each other, their self-image, and their thoughts as shifting parts of the terrain on which they fight. The show will often cut away to the mechanisms driving these
That's cool, I like that. The animation's decent on that.
Helping to ground the fights even as they bend and break their reality. And all the while, we're treated to a showcase of absolutely stunning Sakuga. The show's first fight, in particular, is remarkably complex in its choreography and camera work. Unfortunately, due to behind-the-scenes issues, the animation quality of the series isn't 100% consistent throughout its run, but thankfully it never breaks down.
Most shows aren't.
Framing and surrealist
First episode is like always priority.
Animation shortcomings where they do crop up, and the show always delivers top-notch animation when the situation calls for it, be it a dramatic flash or just an important
Episode
plot beat.
5
Even
or
in its
6 had a
slice
really
of life
bad
segments,
bar.
the character animation is a cut above most other anime, and the show carries itself with a persistent air of theatricality. The acting tends to be exaggerated well beyond even what you'd expect to see in a typical anime, with characters delivering their inner thoughts through soliloquy and moving about the show's world as though it were one giant stage, using background objects as props to accentuate their performances even when it doesn't make strict logical sense. Review Starlight serves as a celebration of the art of stagecraft and the individual passions that drive it. As a high school theater geek, I've got a particular soft spot for this show, but if you enjoy good anime girls and good anime sword fights in general, I think you'll find it to be an absolute treat.
Awesome.
It was one of the absolute best shows of last year, and it deserved a lot more recognition than it got. Of course, not everyone wants their slice-of-life comedies to be broken up by intense duels to the partial disrobement. These are shows that we often watch to unwind, after all, and the tension of a pitched sword fight can get in the way of all that. If you're in the mood for something a bit more laid back, my next suggestion might hit the spot.
Okay, let's do this.
Hakumen Me Kochi follows two tiny fairy girls who are coincidentally named Hakume and Me Kochi as they go about their daily lives in a quaint world of talking animals, spirits, and other vaguely magical hoo-ha.
Cute.
Think The Borrowers, or The Secret World of Arietti if you don't, read, with less sneaking around in fear of the human beings and more sitting around sipping tea. As is appropriate for its tiny setting, Hakumen Me Kochi is largely about enjoying the little things in life. Good company and good food, a quiet moment of relaxation after a long day of hard work, the serene sight of the night sky out in the woods. It's a very cozy, zen-feeling anime that invites you to sit back, relax, and enjoy some light laughs and very mild conflicts in an enchanting setting.
Wow.
The show's animation isn't all that special, but its presentation is very pleasing to the eye nonetheless, with bright, colorful characters that contrast nicely with the earthy watercolor backgrounds. Filters and soft shading give the show the look of a storybook painting come to life, which the anime augments with manga panel insert shots highlighting even smaller details of its world. All of this is backed with slow, calming English folk music that ties the series' pastoral atmosphere together. Now, my endorsement of this show doesn't come without a bit of bias. I absolutely love the aesthetic of tiny characters in a big world. There's just something immensely charming to me about, say, a walnut shell being used as a bowl, or coffee being brewed from a single bean that's been cracked open by hand. So there are some procedural parts of this show that instantly make me happy, but won't necessarily work for all of you. That said, even if you're not immediately drawn in by the world, I think you'll quickly become enamored with the show's characters if you give it a chance. The go-getting Hakume and the more reserved Mikochi have a fantastic odd dynamic that makes every scene they share a lot of fun. The rest of the supporting cast is immensely likable, and there's this underlying feeling of friendship and camaraderie that permeates the series, brightening even its relatively darker moments. It is very difficult to watch Hakume and Mikochi without a smile on your face. The same goes for our last show, though it moves at a much quicker pace.
It was so good.
So much about Planet With.
It was great.
It literally 2 videos ago, and I have a whole other video dedicated
which I really wanted to check out as it was coming out, but I never got around to it.
Anime last year, tied very closely with Yorimoi. Normally, I'd cap this list off with something different, like say,
the CG is awful when it comes to parts with the mechs that they're in, but
it was my birthday on Thursday, so I'm feeling a bit self-indulgent, and Planet With is so goddamn good that there's really no better way you could be spending your anime binging time if you haven't seen it already. If you missed my previous discussions of it, a quick primer. Planet With is an original mecha anime created by mangaka Satoshi Mizukami, who ranks alongside one Hiromu Arakawa and Naoki Urasawa as one of the greatest writers to ever work in the medium, period. The show follows an amnesiac kid named Soya who, in a world under threat from mysterious alien invaders, must hop in a giant robot that is also a big perverted purple cat and fight to stop the team of superheroes trying to save the world. Well, that's the elevator pitch, but the show moves so quickly that no summary can really fully cover it. For Planet With, Mizukami put his immeasurable talent to work crafting one of the tightest, densest narratives that you will ever see in anime. You know how Gurren Lagann took all the twists and turns of a 50-episode mecha anime, cranked the insanity up to 11, and packed it all into just 27 episodes? Mizukami looked at that and said, I can do it in 12.
Yeah,
and
it does go quick.
And it's crazy. Every episode of Planet With, except for maybe the first, which is meant to ease you into things, delivers a full arc's worth of character and plot development and at least one kick-ass mecha battle in a story that spans, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but suffice it to say that it's ambitious.
Yeah,
Yet not
goes
a second
out there.
It feels rushed or confusing because Mizukami has ensured that every line of dialogue is used to its fullest, moving the plot forward, delivering exposition, and expanding on the characters all at once. It's exciting, funny, profoundly emotional, and it has something to say. Throughout its 12 episodes, Planet With dives deep into the philosophy of pacifism, exploring how non-violent means can be used toward profoundly violent ends, how even peaceful motivations can result in destruction, and what it means to truly love and forgive your fellow man, among many other topics. Planet With is in every sense the kind of story that anime was made to tell.
It's great.
Norio
Check it out.
Wakamoto plays a talking dog. I cannot stress enough how important that is. Please watch it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This video was sponsored by HiDive, an anime streaming service that lets you watch hundreds of shows, movies, and OVAs on your PC, phone,
Can I get it in England?
HiDive's relatively new to the streaming game, but they set themselves apart by giving you more control over your viewing experience. Their player lets you select the color of your subtitles to suit your preferences, change the playback speed of any show you're watching up to 4 times for those of you who like anime starring chipmunks, and switch between dubs and subs on the fly. It even tells you the exact bitrate for each video quality setting.
Wow.
And if you want to watch a show with friends, HiDive lets you create your own chat room for any series or movie they have, with global play controls to ensure that everyone's watching the same thing.
That's
HiDive
cool!
also has nearly 200 exclusive titles,
God, the original
classics like Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Pat Labor, and Gunbuster the Movie, OVAs for some of your favorite shows, live-action series like Garo and the Fukons, and 2 of the shows that I talked about today, Review Starlight and Hakumen Me Kochi.
Cool.
And you get all of that for just $5 a month,
Yeah.
$47.99 a year. Or you would if you weren't a basement dweller, because HiDive has given me an exclusive promo code, which I'll leave on screen and in the doobly-doo, that's good for 50% off your subscription.
Whoa.
That's a heck of a deal for one of the best anime streaming platforms out there. Click the link below to get started binging anime on HiDive today. But before you go, scroll down to the comments and let me know what show from last year you thought was the most underwatched or underappreciated. And while you're at it, if you liked the video and you want to see more, consider hitting that subscribe button for more
I didn't
like
watch the
it
Christmas
coming at
special,
you
to be honest.
every week straight from my mother's basement. I'm Jeff Thu,
Professional
shitbag,
signing off from my mother's basement. Bye. That was cool. Run with the Wind and Planet With, I highly recommend both of those. Run with the Wind, I would recommend over all of them. Like, it was my personal favourite last year. I'll never forget sitting here with my girlfriend and she's watching the... Because we've only just been seeing each other for a little bit. And then I'm like, do you mind if I watch the last episode of Run with the Wind? You're not going to know what's going on, but I need to see it. And then I started crying. She just put her arm around me. He's like, oh, is that emotional? I was like, you just don't get it. You don't get it. But yeah, that was a good video. Cool. So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. You guys going to check those out? Let me know. That totally threw my outro out. Thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what you're watching, discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys. Here's all you guys next time.